Hello, and welcome back to the Rag Company podcast. A little later than usual, but that's okay. We're all still here, and we're going to have ourselves a fun little show. It may have to be a little on the shorter side than normal. Sometimes we like to ramble, but this one's going to be a tight hour. We're going to keep it to an hour. So anyway, housekeeping. What do we got?
Well, Dane, introduce us, please,
Okay,
monster.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
start that first.
Dane Hennon in the middle. To my right, Levi Gates.
Hey.
Host. To my left, Anthony Fisher. Also host.
Thanks for having me, Dane. Glad to be here.
Good stuff.
Triplicate of hosts. Yep.
All right, so you said something about housekeeping?
Housekeeping.
Yeah. What do you got?
Yeah. All right, so we got some exciting stuff on the docket here within the next month or so.
Okay, I'm listening.
we have we have a couple different holidays.
A couple holidays coming up.
Couple of holidays. A holiday where we might say thank you to many people out there, which we will be hopefully giving back to all those who are serving and have served.
Very excited.
And then following that, right, we have something that me and Levi know all about, right? Being a father, right? Something like that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right? Not all of us know what that's like.
No, just a few.
Just a few, but there's something special for the fathers out there.
But
that's
we
coming
all
up.
came from a father, hopefully.
Yes.
Or, had a father figure in our life.
Yeah, right. You never really know, right? Depends on where you're from.
Yeah.
But on top of that, we have some other exciting things happening here around the Rag Company. Last week we had the tint show, or the tint, not show, it's the tint shop. The
Tint class.
Training.
Avery Dennison tint class.
Yeah.
That was pretty great. And
so-
it was, my gosh.
You were
I got
fascinated.
I got 3 windows tinted out of the 6
Holy smokes.
that I needed to tint.
That's amazing.
And we got a bunch of
That's,
scraps over there,
50%.
but the
Yeah.
problem is all the scraps are too small.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to panel it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what's funny
I'm
is...
not gonna do that, but anyway, it was a great class. Thank you to everybody that showed up. We had a lot of locals for this class, which was great.
Yeah.
And then the week before, we had the team from Dr. Beasley's Lake Country, Flex, and Griots here for the paint correction class, which was awesome. But next week, we got something happening.
Yes, we do.
What's
a big thing.
A big thing.
The thing that
Glenn, if you could pop up
Been looking forward to this for
the
quite
East
some
Coast
time.
Adventure. This is the 3rd annual with a 3-year gap.
Yeah. No, that was there was a little bit of a break there.
Technically, if the pandemic hadn't happened, we'd be on our 6th annual East Coast Adventure.
We were at
Or 5th annual, or
2018,
whatever.
2019, and then 2020 was going to happen. Then it was 2020,
2021,
2023. It is
2023. Here we go. So we've got the East Coast Adventure happening. So if anybody could pull that graphic up, that'd be awesome. But we are going to be flying in to
there it is.
New Jersey on Tuesday.
Wow.
Next week. So 1 week from today. So we won't have a Tuesday podcast. We might do a Monday just to get started because we are going to be here in the studio on Monday.
It's true.
Tuesday, we are going to be on a plane all day.
Yeah, a little tough to do a podcast
So the 23rd will land, and then the 24th, Wednesday the 24th, that morning from 10 a.m. to noon, we're going to be at the Saratoga Auto Museum, so you can come see us there. We'll be there with our friends from Rag Company, PNS, Coach Chemi, Diamond Protect, Rupes, and Color Lock. Come say hi. Then on that Thursday, we're going to be at Detailer's Domain in the morning from 10 a.m. to noon in Norwood, New Jersey. Same thing, same crew. Come say hi. And then on Friday the 26th, we're going to be in Long Island at Long Island Detail Supply in Oakdale, New York. So come see us there.
Yep.
And that is a open house event with demos and all kinds of stuff from 10 a.m. to 3. The other 2 are kind of just hangouts. Come say what's up. Come chill out. Say hello. And then, but the Friday event is a open house. You can buy. You can check stuff out. Come see us 10 to 3. And then that Saturday morning, we're going to be in Bedford Hills at the Haggerty Garage and Social, doing the same thing, kind of having a parking lot party, hanging out, talking shop, seeing cars. We're going to do some, talking to Gary, we're talking about doing some demos on a car. So we're going to mess around with an old Ford LTD.
Nice.
That's really in good shape. It's very
Apparently,
ugly,
yeah,
but
it's pretty sweet.
very
It's just
pretty.
a little chalky looking. As
yeah,
well.
so we'll probably do a 20-minute one-step or something on it.
that'd be cool.
Anthony can spritz some bead maker on there and
Perfect.
make the magic happen.
home.
But we're going to have some fun. So if you're in the New York, New Jersey, or even Connecticut area, come see us. Come say hi. We're gonna have some fun, or even Northern Pennsylvania. come spend some time with us. And
Not too far of a drive.
Yeah, easy time. We tried to make it accessible to everybody in that kind of area that you can make your way
General
over.
tri-state area.
Yeah, come see us. Come hang out with us. So we're super excited for that. So
It's going to be a wild time.
We'll have
Nice.
fun.
Very, very fun. All right. Well, we had a Mother's Day this last weekend.
we did.
And a very special day for many people here within this company and all of that. And so we get to celebrate the mothers out there, get them hopefully gifts that weren't just detailing supplies. Hopefully you got them something they actually wanted, right? Maybe it was flowers, maybe it was a spa day, maybe actually it was detailing supplies, right? Maybe they love that, right?
Yeah, you never know.
We got some Kims that are out there that love that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess a very, very, very fun holiday, and hopefully you guys all got to spend it with some loved ones. And if you weren't able to, hopefully you got to do what you wanted to do anyway. So jumping into this with Mr. Levi Yates.
Oh, hi.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, I want to hear about your weekend
Yeah,
first.
Weekend.
Well, so I didn't have a car this weekend.
Oh, wow. Check that out.
Surprising.
So you had to walk everywhere.
I know.
Yeah. So I took Monday off too. So I've had a 3-day weekend,
Yeah.
Glad you
which
enjoyed
has
that.
been very nice,
Yeah.
very relaxing.
Yeah. Peaceful, some might say.
Some might say peaceful. Saturday, I got a ton of stuff done.
Oh,
Not
yeah?
only did I get the yard mowed front and back,
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
I got it mowed 3 times.
Oh, wow. What happened the first 2
My
times?
hands hurt.
Oh, gotcha.
The reason I mowed it 3 times was because my grass was so long in the back
Yeah.
that I had to mulch it first, run it without a bag. Then I had to mow it with the bag to get up all the chunks of grass. And then I had to mow it again to get the remaining chunks of grass up.
So you did a multi-step.
It was a multi-step process.
Multi-step
It was
process,
a 3-part process.
Basically, you do a little compounding, right? Then you go for another pass, right? Maybe a little spritz of water in there to keep that compound flowing. And once you went for that final polish.
Yep, exactly. So it was 3 phases, right? Once I got it done, though, it was like glass.
Was it
Grass
really?
looked great.
Glass
very
grass.
nice. Yeah. So got that done. Did the front
right,
as well.
Franco.
Augie had compound polish and protect the lawn. I got Augie. Augie's friend came over
Yeah.
to get rowdy with him for about 6 hours.
Does he
So
need help?
he had
rowdy?
a friend. No,
Seems like
this
he's
kid's
rowdy
this
on
kid's
his
super
own.
great and not
Okay.
rowdy at all, which
Oh,
we
okay.
really like having him there because he brings Augie down.
He
Calms
evens
him.
calms
out.
him down.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a cooler. He's basically,
cooler. Nice.
they send in coolers
I
to
was just
tables
saying,
in
I
Las
watched
Vegas
Roadhouse recently
to
so
drop that, or there's the coolers that keep
That kinda cooler.
keep the roadhouses
Keep the
calm.
riffraff
You don't
out.
want guys throwing beer bottles at
No.
the band.
Yeah.
So
So he's not
yeah.
a wet blanket, though.
Not a wet
Okay,
blanket, just
okay.
a cooler, right?
Gotcha.
So
bump on a wall.
but anyway, so he came over and that helped Og kind of chill out. But I got that done. I got Carly's car washed. I got the dog washed.
Wow.
I even cleaned Watson, took him upstairs, gave him a bath.
Yeah.
Didn't need
Again,
to polish him.
3-step paint correction on the dog.
Whoa.
But it was more of a decon.
3-step pet correction.
More of a decon wash,
Pet
realistically.
hair removal.
Pet hair removal.
Yeah.
A lot of. I mean, it was heavy.
Apply
heavy pet
for
hair
real
removal.
directly to the animal.
Yeah. So that was long, but I got all those things done, and then we were able to just chill out. That was the nice thing. However, Friday night has quickly become one of my favorite nights
Really?
because of the show Yellow Jackets.
Oh,
Oh,
Yellow
Katie
Jackets,
got,
yeah.
or not Katie, but my Katie's trying to get me on that. But
Anthony, you need to get on it.
so here's the deal. I tried watching it, right? I tried making it through that first like 2 episodes.
You
like
need
the
to.
I'm
You
just
need
like-
to. You need to
And
power.
and I'm just
through.
like, these kids shouldn't be doing this kind of
You
stuff.
need to
in the
power
first
through
place.
it.
It's just a strange show. Katie's on me about
It's
this.
so good.
It feels like
Do
it's
you
right up
like
her
it that
alley.
much?
I love it.
Are you on the first season or the 2nd
I'm
season?
into the second season. I am caught up.
Is it getting crazy
It's
or what?
getting insane.
I feel like it was already crazy in the first
It's
2 episodes.
insane. You need to get on it. And if you haven't, you need to subscribe to Showtime so you can watch
Oh
it.
no, I watched about 6 episodes, but I never got back into it. So I
Oh,
need to,
what is
I need
wrong
to-
with you two? You guys need to get in it. Like
to
it
go
is
back and
so
watch it,
good. It's
yes.
probably the best show on television right now.
Do you
I
think
find
so?
And I
that
will
a
say
little
I
that.
just
difficult.
watching a show
No, it is.
about middle-aged women,
It is.
thinking
Maybe
back
it's
to
my
their
age
youth.
group. Maybe it's because those are all girls that were
You went to high school
that
with.
I
It's a
went to high
very-
school with.
It's very Gen X kind of.
Because it literally
Yeah.
is that's my time period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
I told Kate, I said, I don't want to watch these like older women, reminisce of their younger days where things
They're not
were,
reminiscing.
Yeah, they are reminiscing.
They're trying to
Without
stifle
spoiling
it.
anything. There's definitely a lot of.
They're dreaming back to their younger days when they were young and having fun in the woods. And I just
They
look
weren't
back,
having fun in the woods.
No, that's not what.
Not
the show
having
is.
fun.
What are you
I watched
talking
6
about?
episodes. I saw enough to know that's not what.
That's
was
not what
happening.
happened.
They were dressing up, they were hanging out,
Sure.
they're having campfires,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it is a very
Nope.
calm and
Nope.
relaxing show.
Nope. So-
And then the second episode
it's like
happens,
you
and
know
it's
what
different.
I like to think of that was the Golden Girls, right? That was their youth. That's where they started. Was
Wow.
the Yellow
Oh,
Jackets.
Lord, this
I'm
went the
afraid
wrong
this
way.
podcast
So-
is turning
That
into
makes
one of
sense.
those other
Yellow
podcasts.
Jackets to Golden Girls.
No,
That's
no.
you
So
know,
here's
they're
the
all
deal.
grown up now.
No.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
If you're not watching it, you got to watch it. You got to finish that first season. You got to get into the second season. It's unbelievable and amazing and insane.
Yeah.
Seriously. So that was Friday night. I love that show.
dear.
Saturday did a bunch of stuff, got everything knocked out. Simple, easy weekend. Went and did some grocery shop. We went and did some grocery shopping and stuff in the evening. Saturday night, Sunday we had Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Made breakfast.
Okay.
Right, got some French toast, some bacon, cooked
nice.
that up. Kids made cards. Hadley made a card for Carly and a flower pot. Augie made a little card and a drawing for her and another little thing.
Okay.
Nice.
And then wrote out the cards, and then we gave her a puzzle that she's been wanting. So
okay.
she's very surprised, very excited about it.
Always a fun time.
Yeah, and then the rest of the
doing a
day
puzzle.
was letting Carly just chill out and be
Yeah.
whatever she wanted to do. So she went tanning. She kind of just
That
relaxed.
vitamin D,
Yeah,
right?
took a bath, hung out, just let her not have to, hopefully not try to do anything, but she
Enjoy
still did
Mom
some.
Day.
She still did some laundry, and we made sure we all told her we were very thankful and appreciative of that. We're still doing our walks in the evening, which has been nice.
Yeah.
And then Monday, we took the day off.
Did you?
So Carly also took the day off. So we took Monday, sent the kids to school. Then we went down to Eggman and Earl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Had a delicious breakfast.
Pretty
at
good.
Eggman and Earl.
It's not-
I
it's
just
not
had the
bad.
pancakes. She had a biscuit and gravy, so
Yeah.
it was easy and simple. And then made it over to rode our bikes, got on the cruisers, cruised down the Greenbelt, saw how huge and high the river was,
It's
and rode down to Bodo.
Yeah.
Got the bikes locked up and went to a movie at 11:30 in the morning.
See, that's life right there.
I have a
you know?
question.
We were the only people in the theater for
Really?
Guardians 3.
nice.
There's nothing better than
And we
that.
were in the big one that they have there with the Atmos. So
Yeah.
they've got all the new speakers on the wall and on
That's
the
the
ceiling,
good stuff.
and the big digital projection screen.
You guys,
laser
you guys are the
projection.
only ones in the theater?
Only ones.
Because it's
like
Monday.
it's like your teenage days,
It's
right?
Well, we were the top 2 in the back row.
Yeah.
Very back row.
You always got to bring a blanket, right? It gets cold.
I
when
didn't
Lenny's
you're-
bring
trying to
a blanket,
relive the
but-
beginning of Yellow Jackets again.
It was
It's
great.
just all that again. So,
yeah.
no, I was going to ask you, when it comes to Bodo, the movie theater downtown, I keep checking their website. Their website doesn't have, like, the info.
You got to go to Cinema West.
Maybe it's different. Okay, Cinema
So,
West.
download the app.
I kept typing in Boise Downtown
No.
Movie Theater.
So
Give me
you
the
got to go
info.
to Cinema West,
Okay.
and it's the same company that owns
Majestic.
the Majestic and what's the other one at
Cinemark? Is it
No.
Regal?
No, it's the Cinema West is
that
the
kind
company.
of like cheesy green
They-
logo.
no,
it's
they're
dated looking.
it's like it's
The
it's sepia toned
the
and
theaters
black
are very
and
nice, but
orange.
I remember they had
it's-
like a little
it's-
behind the Regals and the AMCs and stuff.
Anyway, Cinema
obviously,
West
yeah.
is the company that owns the one. What's the big place in Meridian? The mall, the big
The
place,
Village.
The
The
Village.
Village?
They own the
Yes.
Village Cinema too.
Oh,
Okay.
So
yeah, 'cause
they're
I was trying
they're
to
the
find
Village.
info. I wanted to go to a showing, and I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, guys, I'm going to look up the."
So Dane, take
Where is it?
Siri, download Cinema West app. There you go, Dane.
Now we know. Thank you. Continue.
But so we went there, got to see the movie. That was great. Being the first ones, they literally the doors were locked when we showed up.
Oh wow.
So what'd you think of the movie?
I loved it. I loved it.
Wasn't it downer for you?
No, it was very emotional.
Yeah.
It was a very emotional movie.
They get you good.
They got
really,
me good a couple times.
They pull at some of those strings and you go, dang it, how dare they do that to that little
Yeah.
raccoon?
No.
Sickening.
So it was, never taking the kids to that.
Oh, no, it'll mess them
They will
up.
never see that. Yeah,
Wow.
it was nuts.
That much.
Did the F-bomb throw you off?
No, I didn't even. It didn't
You're
even
always
faze me.
allowed one in a PG-13
Didn't even faze me.
movie.
Really?
So, but no, it was good. I really liked it. I loved everything about it. And then we rode our bikes back, made it back to the house before the storm came. So we had a big rainstorm at about 3:00 here that hit, and we were riding. It was about 2:00. It was perfect weather. Rode back home, landed, then just chilled out. Right, just kind of relaxed for a bit.
Yeah.
Storm hit, thunder, rain,
Yeah.
all that. Just opened the bedroom door. We got that big French door in our room. We
Yeah.
just opened the door, let it listen to the thunder and the rain. Then I went and picked up the kids from school.
Yeah.
Then we had a meeting at the school from 7 to 9. There is a SRO officer here locally called SRO Gomez. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got an Instagram. He's got a Facebook. He is
So he's like banking off his job.
he is a school resource officer
Okay.
that and he's a Boise County sheriff and an Idaho City police officer, and was a Meridian police officer for a number of years.
Busy guy.
But what he does is he teaches internet safety, and he travels all over the country. He was just in Pennsylvania last week. He hosts these seminars, town halls for parents at schools all over the country on the dangers of social media. And then he explained, like, they do straight up catch a predator.
I wonder what happened to those kinds of seminars.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Because I felt like
and
they're really popular in the 80s
fascinating.
and 90s, but
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those, like, and then he ended it, and we were like, that was the only thing, was we were like, man, he could have. Like,
Brought us
okay,
up on
so
a
here's
high
the
note.
kind of things you guys need
There
to do.
was no
And
compliment
there was
sandwich.
no
It was
compliment
just
sandwich. It was
downer
like,
all the way.
it was hard, man. That was, like, I looked at that and thought, man, Guardians 3 was delightful to watch, because that was such a beautiful movie. And then I had that afterwards, and I was like, that was way rougher. That was way more emotionally.
It's like ending the night on a shot of 151, right?
guess.
When maybe you wanted to end it
There's
on
no way that
like
ends well.
a purple Viking, right? Or
maybe,
something. Or something,
maybe.
something
But
a
the
little
point
softer.
was, it was rough.
But like
Yeah.
Tim
And if
Meadows
you
in
have-
Mean Girls saying everything ends with you dying.
Kind of,
No
not
matter
really,
what you
but
do, even
no,
something totally
it's-
innocent, and then you die.
No, I think the frustrating thing was to find out, like, so one thing he stated was like, because he knows all these stats, and he goes, this is
Okay.
what we've done in Meridian. And this is what we've done in Meridian this year, since January 1st.
Yeah.
And we go, these are the arrests we've made and the charges we've brought to these people who've enticed children over the internet here locally.
Yikes.
And this is how it happened. And these are the ages.
Sickening.
And you're like, I am never
Don't like that.
I am never moving to Meridian. One. That is a garbage town.
Literally a wonderful
It
place
is
to
a
Well,
live.
it's
scary,
okay.
scary
I
place.
moved. I'm safe. I'm a little
so
too
glad,
old for it, but,
so glad you moved out of that
Oh,
cesspool, Dane.
I'm
So
sorry,
Dane has to worry
yeah.
about bobcats instead. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
Yeah.
It's
So
the
no, it
cougars
was,
and the
but it was one of
mountain
those where like
Same
it
animal.
was surprising,
Yeah.
right? You don't think
No,
about that
yeah.
stuff. And then he talked about all the different apps and programs and stuff that kids are on, and why the kids are on, and the stuff that what they're trying to get, and what they're trying to do, and what these
Creepers.
predators are doing on top of that. And like, it was shocking and terrifying.
It's meant to make you scared when you leave that place. Like, I
Oh,
need
it's already
to
bad
check
enough. No, it's
everything
already bad
10
enough.
times over.
It's already bad enough. Like Roblox. My kids
Yeah.
love Roblox. They want to play Roblox all the time. Carly and I literally got rid of our computer in our house because we don't want them to play Roblox.
Yeah.
Simple. Now, all their friends play Roblox. All their buddies play Roblox. They want to play Roblox. So we thought, let's send them to the public library by our house,
Okay.
which has 16 computers, all right next to the librarian's desk, and a big window on the other
Sure.
side. So it's not like in a dark cavern or a
Right.
closed off room. It's wide open.
Yeah.
And they have to get a login and everything from the librarian. And
Also,
the librarian
they're
can
in
kick
the
them off.
library.
And they're
Maybe
in the
they'll get
library.
bored of that and they'll want to go read a book. Wishful
Found
thinking.
out that one of the dudes that they arrested had been in the Meridian Public Library and was doing the exact same
dang
thing.
it.
They're getting smarter too.
And it was like, wait, hold on. And he was a homeless dude that had been going to the library for an hour to get his free login and then enticing kids over the internet.
This is not how I expected our Mother's Day
unbelievable.
episode to go.
Anyway, so
Sorry, this is honestly
super frustrating and like stressful. So we were like, yep, we're kicking them out of every, like we're not giving them phones. We're not doing nothing. So anyway, terrifying. That was my night last night. And then I came to work and we have been swamped today. So that's been my weekend. It was very insane.
Thank you for that.
As always, we've got that third episode of the Not So Pearly Gates podcast up. If anybody wants to go listen to it, it's going pretty good. I've been enjoying it. We're 87%
Rotten Tomatoes.
No, 87 of our 100, I guess, or 81 of our 100 for Spotify is doing well.
Nice.
But we're on all the major platforms now.
Good.
Apple, Google, Stitcher, all those things. So I'm very proud of that. But anyway,
you should be.
Nice.
Dane,
tell us.
hit us. Hit us hard and hit us fast.
So it's funny. I was going to say his weekend kind of mirrored my weekend, but then it took a turn. It definitely did not include any of that.
Somewhat haunting,
so,
yes.
For one, I was here on Monday, unlike everybody else. But on Friday, definitely wound things out. Good thinking, man, this is about the time. I had been using Brandon's mower he left over. He had a 40-volt electric mower. Yeah. It was one of those Greenworks one, and it was sun-fried, sun-baked to absolute hell. It was beat. But it kind of worked. So I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. And plus,
fire that rip it a couple times. Did you go get premium to put in it for this first mow?
It's an electric.
I would
still go get premium to put in it. Just pour it on the top of it.
I just get some of that premium electricity.
Rip that cord. Push that button.
My favorite, I would have paid to just been a fly on the wall, watching Dane walk over this mower and just going,
Oh, no, Glenn, better check.
I would love that.
Him brushing the dust off the top.
Yeah,
well, it probably still works.
Yeah, so it was green at one time. Now it's basically yellow.
Yeah.
But anyway, I took it out there and I gave it a shot. I thought, what the heck? And just for added pressure and whatnot, I decided it's dumb. You know how I've been doing like menial things, and I'm like, I'll stream myself doing this really dumb menial task.
You streamed it.
I decided to fix a suction cup to the top of the mower, and I was just going to do a POV walking around mowing the lawn just for the heck of it. And then I realized that the plastic was so sun-faded and baked that it wouldn't even let the suction cup stick, and I wound up holding it with one hand while going, and it was the worst thing ever. So I'm not doing that again. But yeah, super neat.
Live stream mowing in your yard.
Yeah, you know what?
Should have just had it on your forehead.
Things.
Like,
See,
like
that's
a friend of ours.
That's the ADA move. Not this guy, some other guy. But anyway, could have done that. That would have been fun. But no, I ended up mowing about four lines, and then I went, no, this isn't working. So I realized very quickly. The problem was this was a 15-inch mower. It's not a big mower.
That's what ours are.
Well, okay, spoiler alert, I went out and bought one. It's a 21-inch 80-volt.
Oh, my God.
Actually, it's a 22.
Very nice.
Might be 21. I saw they had a special at Costco.
Congratulations. What'd you get?
Screw it. I got the big boy Greenworks, 80-volt.
80. So you still stuck with Greenworks then?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So you don't
still
go,
Greenworks.
No ego or anything?
No, because this was... I mean, it was shockingly cheaper than my alternatives.
Really? Like, what are we talking? A couple $100?
It's a few hundred. So basically, this one was going for about $500.
Holy,
that's not bad.
The one I compared it to, though, when I was comparing around, most of them were like $700 to $1,000 for a mower, and not a riding mower, a push mower. And I'm like, what's up with that? When I was looking at Home Depot, all the Ryobis, 80-volt anything, brushless motor, all that stuff that this one has. Twice the price of what I paid for this one. It was stupid. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do this then.
Yeah.
And now I'm officially going to be mowing my lawn myself.
Wow.
Rather than, going to pay service doing that. So
I'm super excited.
I really enjoyed the experience of using this mower.
I'm
once
proud of
I
you,
figured
Dane.
out how to start it, because it has a weird starting procedure.
So what did you listen to while you were mowing? Did you listen to a podcast, an audio bit? Okay.
So I was listening to interviewing the everyday driver.
Yeah, because you got all that. You don't have to hear anything.
You don't have to hear the two-step of that motor.
Well, the nice part is the lawnmower is like so sedate and calming sounding. It's just a whisper sound because it's a brushless motor.
Slight
and then
vibration.
It's very light humming.
Nice.
But then it's so peaceful. My dog's not scared of it, and she's scared of like all the other noises. But this one, she just comes walking right up next to me. I'm like, not so close.
Yeah.
So how's the bagging ability?
Not bad. I was actually doing mulch at a certain point. I was just like kicking it out the side.
So what are you going to be doing for? What are you doing for your shaft work?
So the nice thing is Brandon also left his edge trimmer.
Nice.
It's nice
And
when
it
a buddy
uses
lets
the
you
same
edge.
40 volt.
Yeah.
No, it's nice. Leaves his tools behind. so I
Two
can do
guys
it.
edging
Yeah.
is typically faster than one, though.
True.
I will just say that right now.
Okay, so anyway, I need to get some new line for that one. I need to pick some up on my way home today.
Okay, so you didn't get to fully edge. You got to look at the shafts.
Correct.
and the
I got a
edging.
good look at it, and it has a wheel on it, so it's one of those ones you can roll
and you touched,
along
so
an
you
edge.
checked it out.
Yeah, yeah. So it's clearly designed for it, but it needs a new canister at the bottom with
Yeah, the
deployable string. So I need to go get me one of those.
Yeah,
But,
I also
I'm
edged
gonna
this
use it.
weekend. I
Cool.
edged my whole yard
Wow.
as well.
Whole
Edged
thing.
around my yard.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Sometimes that's best
So
to do.
yeah, so I'm just happy.
So you're
got
happy.
the thing
So you're,
knocked down.
so you're doing
Yeah.
lawn work and
I
some
love
of this.
this. Dane's new lawn care
Yeah,
company.
I'm very excited
It was
about
good
this
exercise anyway. I
development.
figured I should be the one doing this. So yeah, no, getting out there doing it feels good.
Save
And,
a little money, especially after you spend some money.
Yeah, because when I was doing the math, I was like, okay, it's $500 for the mower, and if I were to have this lawn mowed by like a service nowadays, it's gone are the days of being able to pay like $25 for.
You mean $10? Like when I
mean,
used to mow lawns for
My,
$10.
my cheapest I was ever able to spend was like $15 on a lawn mow, and it was a kid. And then obviously he left town after he got enough money, and he went and did something else. I'm like, okay, I understand that.
Kids leaving.
So
leaving
then I was
town
like, all right,
to get
next
some
thing.
money.
Next thing was like $25. Now it was like a minimum of $40 a mow. So I was like, okay, at this point, the whole season long, I'll just pay for the mower and I'll make up for it in like less than one season of mowing.
Absolutely.
So,
And
just,
you'll have some.
just doing that.
There's a sense of pride.
Yeah, yeah.
Be able
So-
to keep up, especially when you got the good lawn tools.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy it.
I need to work on my
Being able to
storage
get out there and
solution.
do that.
I've got a shed. You guys have done your shed stuff.
Well, you have a shed too.
I have a shed, but it's basic. It's like one of those Rubbermaid ones. It's
all right.
I think it's like a 6x8 or something like that. It's
about the same size as mine.
Maybe a little bigger, but it's all the plastic panels. It looks like a kid's toy put together kind
It
of thing.
does look like that.
It works, but at the same time, I feel like I
you
can
You want to
organize
go
it
bigger.
better.
You're ready to go Stormore.
Are you ready to? No, I didn't go Stormore. Stormore is a chain.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Stormore is not the chain. It is what's the other one? Tough Shed is the chain.
Tough Shed's
Yeah.
the chain.
So yeah. So basically, I was
Get
just
something
trying
to
figure
match.
that
What if
out.
you got one that was like a micro version of your house?
That would
That's
be
kind of what I
silly.
did. It's pretty sick, Dane. But you can
like
get the
a
same thing
mini-
with your windows, like the
Yeah.
peak windows.
Yeah.
They do crazy stuff.
No, I get that. So no, I'm back on the whole in visualizing what
if
can
you
be
had a
done
slide?
with the yard kind of thing.
What if you had a slide from the top of your deck
Holy
into your shed,
crap.
so that you
man.
could just you just pop through the slide, come out, and then you literally like the Flintstones, like you just walk out mowing.
Dane.
No,
You're just going.
You go
You
down
just-
that thing.
doors
You wind
open.
up in a nest of spiders, and you wish you never went down that slide. The most horrible thing I can
So
imagine.
I think Dane's ziplining slide and we'll put a fireman pole on his deck
Yeah.
to where he can just fireman pole down. That would actually be pretty sweet.
That would be
okay,
pretty dope.
that would be sick. Yeah, I could do that off the deck and just
You
straight
could
down it.
fireman
yeah.
pole would be pretty
into
sweet.
the shed.
Yeah,
and then
but
out the door.
how do I
the,
guarantee
with a motorcycle.
How do I guarantee I can seal
Just
that?
pushing
from
the motor,
elements?
where the doors pop open, the mower and him are out.
I like
Shirtless.
where your heads are at though. That's a fun idea. So anyway, I was very
Just makes it
very
more fun on a
excited.
Saturday morning,
Yeah.
So you go mow the lawn.
So that's what I did on Saturday. I said Friday, I meant Saturday. So Saturday, that's essentially what I did. I went and got that, took care of that, super excited about it, made my day, was happy. Dog loved me being in the yard with her, just walking around, chilling. But what's that?
Alex.
Oh,
Dane mows in his robe with an espresso martini.
that does sound like something I would love to do one day. So, so knocked that out of the park. Very satisfied with it. But it also got me up close to my fence again, and my fence is just looking tired. Somebody would say, oh, go and restain it, but I have no plans of keeping that fence. Honestly, I want to get rid of a huge section of it and make the parking area like I talked
Let's
about.
do the horizontal fencing.
Yes.
eventually, and
So, you got the horizontal fencing or just simply like aluminum fencing, like metal fencing, where it's
So
more of
what
the
I think you need to
design
do,
that won't
Dane,
rust. I don't want rust.
I'm not. What I think you need to do, from my experience, just this weekend, I think you need to go take a trip to Oceanside, California.
Yeah.
You need to go see what they're doing with their yards, and I think it'll give you a massive amount of inspiration for what to
Okay.
do with yours. Because I think when I was
I
driving
like
around
coastal plants, but I don't live in a coastal
No,
climate.
but you like the mid-century modern
Yes.
outdoor
Oh,
design
absolutely.
of what they do for
Yes.
parking, because most of their parking is on hills.
Yes, it's all on hills, and they're mostly carports. It's usually not garages.
So
but
just
I like
something
a
to think
classic
about.
carport coupled with a garage.
All right,
The
so-
garage is
but
more
continue
sedate.
on to
But
the
anyway,
weekend.
that's enough about me. That's just what I was doing with that time. So they were talking about the price going up on their. I paid $4.99 for my Ryobi 21-inch self-propelled 40-volt. Yeah. So in fairness, that the prices I saw on like a 21-inch 40-volt was like around 600 something.
Holy smokes.
But that's for the 40-volt. I got an 80-volt. So as soon as I was comparing a brushless, motor 80-volt to whatever Ryobi had, it was like $1,000 plus. It was crazy. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I was looking at
Nuts.
there. Some consumer advice in case you're looking. Maybe that's a difference regionally, could change, but that gives you an idea.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah. So that was Saturday. Sunday.
Neil, I am too.
Yeah. So Sunday, and there's nothing wrong with using an old mower. I was just due for one.
That was when
So
I
got
bought
rid
my
of
new
one.
mower.
Yeah.
Bought my Honda 110.
Well, it's a Honda. It's gonna last.
120 or
Yeah,
whatever
well,
it is.
Yeah,
It's
you're
nice.
good. But obviously, made plans with my brother because my dad will sometimes do a plan or something, but he just kind of left it open, didn't even talk about it because we had the meeting with some folks from out of town coming in, and they had to set up a dinner. They're going to talk with them, but obviously the day was kind of wide open early, and I thought, well, Mother's Day, we got to do something. And I know my mom really appreciates if we just come up with a little plan, do something. She didn't expect it at all, which was nice. But my brother and I set up a plan. He got the flowers and the cards all set
nice.
up. And I worked on getting us a brunch set up. So originally we were going to cook at their house, but I thought, well, it's nice to be around them, but if we have to cook and stuff, they want to be able to talk with us and things. What if we just show up with food and then we can all just sit around the table and talk, and that's easier. And he's just like, okay, yeah. So I just, said, I'll handle this part. You handle the flowers and cards. I got the food. I'll pay for it. We're all good. And I tried out Candy's Cafe, which I had not
Don't know.
ever
where that
tried
is.
because it's only been around for like a few months. They took over Eddie's Diner over here. So basically, this
corner
little-
here.
right here across the street.
Oh, this
Just down
place,
the
yeah.
street.
Like the old
So
50s
it used
diner.
to be Eddie's Diner. It was all,
Yeah.
50s kind
Yeah.
of style.
Hard parking lot
And,
to get into.
Yeah. The parking lot's bigger than it looks from the street.
It is.
though.
It's
when
much
you're around
bigger.
the other side, it's
you
like,
just got to
oh.
go in through the lighter at the next intersection and
Yeah.
drive around.
And unfortunately, that business had kind of been on a downturn for quite a while. I don't know
Well, not that-
quality-wise.
it's 'cause,
I'd
it's
say
literally
just because of
staffing.
patronage, it was way down compared to normal.
and they weren't willing to pay more.
Right.
probably.
Yeah. So it got a little rough, but basically they came under new ownership, had a new name, Candy's Cafe, and I saw they did breakfast items. So I was like, well, after calling a few places, I was calling, a couple days in advance. I wasn't going to do it like night of, but I was calling around a couple days in advance to see who was going to take like an order in the morning for takeout.
Well, because most of them don't do
No.
to-go orders the morning of like
Right.
Mother's Day.
So that's why I was calling in advance to check
Yeah.
and see if they were going to be cool with it. Called around to the Griddle, called around to other local places. I went through about 4 or 5 places. They all said, you can show up, but we're not going to, do a
Correct, yeah.
takeout. And it's like, okay. But then I called Candy's Cafe, and I'm like, well, this one's kind of on a whim. It's very close, though, so if
Yeah.
this works, it's great. Sure enough, nice kid answered the phone. He walked through it. He was very helpful, and he was just like, yeah, we'll take that order. So, okay, great. Guess they got her answer now. So I put it together. Went down there, and it took them a little while to get the stuff ready, but it wasn't bad. It was just getting finished as I was driving up, so it was perfect. And we took it over to my folks' house, and my mom was so excited because she didn't know it was coming, but it was just a fun way to kind of brighten her day, and she was so happy. So it just, she loved it. So
Yeah.
point made, Mother's Day, success.
Yeah.
We're all good there. So anyway, just looking out for, your mom. Or if they're not around, whoever the mother figure is in your life currently or has been, just, thinking about it. It went a long way. But it was a nice thing to do, and I was really happy that we found some time that day, even though it was going to be a busy day, at least in the morning and afternoon. What was funny was after, well, and this is something, I don't know if I can bring up the specifics of this yet because it pertains to SEMA,
Okay.
but we'll have a car in our booth this year. And we were watching some videos that related to the car that's going to be in our booth, and actually found that it was a really fun and compelling story. So we were really liking that, and we watched a bunch of their videos. So that's as cryptic as I'm going to be on that right now. But it was a good watch, and
Nice.
I'll show you guys later. But yeah, no, I think we'll have a good time. It's going to be fun. Anyway,
Awesome,
that was
Joey.
pretty much my weekend. Nothing crazy. I didn't take Monday off, nothing like that. But I know I'm leaving a lot of time here because Anthony, He was somewhere else. He wasn't even in Idaho.
Well, I mean, it wasn't. You're right, Dane. I wasn't in Idaho, right?
So what'd you do?
Went down to the deep freaking south, Dane. That's what I did. I went down to the land
fan boat?
to the land of fan boats, right?
Yeah, Johnny.
Crawfish, right?
Ooh.
I went down there.
Saw those pictures. I
Marshes.
saw a picture you sent of Lucy and her first crawfish boil.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Unbelievable.
They were extremely welcoming down there, and I mean, I think probably one of the biggest takeaways I had was going into some of these like lagoons and marshes and whatnot,
Yeah.
and low speed fan boat cruising through it and seeing myself some alligators, right, and their eyes, the way they light up at night, it's kind of terrifying when you have a child, but it's fun. I mean, that's the beautiful part of Southern California, right? You just never know what you're going to get into.
Right,
so,
exactly. And you're close to the beach.
You are close to the beach. So, yeah, anyway, in a nutshell, yes, I went to California this weekend. This has been a trip that I've been planning for, quite some time now, almost a couple months, where we wanted to make a trip for not only Mother's Day, but also to go visit my sister and my brother-in-law. So I had told you guys this before on the podcast, but my sister, Caitlin, and her husband, Sydney, opened up a Dutch Bros down in Oceanside, California.
Yeah.
Super proud of them. They've been working for Dutch Bros for 15 years. If you guys don't know who Dutch Bros is, it's like a coffee
Quickly
stand.
becoming a nationwide chain.
Basically, it's like a coffee stand.
Started in the Pacific
Selective
Northwest.
growth, or are they just growing as fast as they can?
I don't know, man. I think it's selective growth, but they're growing pretty freaking
Staying
quick.
pretty west.
Okay.
But
So-
it's Pacific Northwest and down.
Yeah. So it was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday I took the day off to do some mowing as well, getting the yards prepared. I was very happy that I could fit all 3 of my hot rods into my garage before my trip.
Yeah, so they're protected.
Because the plan was to drive my wife's car, the 4Runner, and leave it at the airport. It's the easiest thing to do with the car seat situation. So
Let's
I had.
be real, you didn't want to leave any of your other cars at the airport.
Well, you can leave the Ram.
I mean, I leave the Dodge
Well,
Ram
okay, the
1500, but
Ram. Yeah, you might leave that.
the Hondas as well as the Honda Acura and the Evo got to sit in the garage. It's the first time it's ever happened on a trip, and it was very.
Sounds fine.
It was just low stress. I had to think about what's going on.
Yeah.
Alex
I didn't have
knows.
to think about whether or not a bird was crapping on my vehicle or if a cat was jumping on it while I was gone on this trip. And this is normal for most people to be able to say, yeah, why don't you just park in the garage? Not all the time do I get that luxury, people.
Like next
So-
week, you're not going to get that luxury.
Maybe,
Right.
maybe not. I'm going to try to talk her into it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, correct. So got the cars in the garage. Had all 3 of them in there, and they fit well. And at that point, we are pretty much ready to rock and roll. So Friday morning, if you want to even call it that, Friday, if I call it Thursday night, our flight left at we had to be at the airport at 4:30, or I think 4:30.
Yeah, so you get to redo that on Tuesday.
Our flight was leaving at 5:15 or 5, whatever the heck it was. So I went to bed on Thursday night at 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up Friday morning at 3 a.m. I got
Well rested.
2 hours of sleep.
Nice.
And ready to rock and roll. Ready to wake up my quite literally 18-month-old child and say, we're going on a trip
Let's get you
now.
dressed.
Let's get you dressed, right? I know you don't know what's going on. And we made it to the airport, and it was my grandma, my parents, and then me, Katie, and my daughter, and we were all pretty much just getting ready to rock and roll. So got to the airport.
Where'd you guys fly?
Southwest.
Okay.
Katie's mom works for Southwest. We got some passes for that, and it kind of ended up working out. Now, Southwest, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you are.
Right?
It gets where you need
You're
to
an
go.
aisle. You're an exit seat aisle guy.
I know, but I've been spoiled as of recently by the luxuries of Delta Airlines.
Right, which we get
True.
again on Tuesday.
And Delta, like I don't know what it is about it. It's just something else, right? And so not that Southwest is bad. I can totally be fine with it, but it is different, right?
Yeah.
And the seating arrangement. It's
Dane, did you
completely
choose your
different.
meal for the flight next week?
No, but I saved the email so that I
Okay.
could do that.
There's a chef making that
I'm
meal
aware,
for you,
yes,
Dane, on
very
your
nice.
first class seat.
Yeah.
So,
I chose the salad because the other stuff was all too spicy.
no, it was just too elegant, I think is what it was. Too flavorful.
All
but-
these words, I don't know what these foods are.
So we left Friday morning, got on the flight. We had a flight to Vegas first, and then from there to Vegas to San Diego.
How'd Lucy do on the whole flight?
Amazing.
question.
My daughter did amazing on the flight. She is a great flyer. She pretty much slept the whole time, which is awesome.
So she doesn't scream on a plane with the air pressure and all that changing.
No. No air.
Wow.
Yeah, she wasn't bothered by the air pressure. We just had her say "wow" every time we were landing and then taking off, right, to pop her ears. She's like, "Wow!" Say
Wow.
"wow." She's like, "Wow," and
Wilson would be proud.
It's very cute and it works. So we did that, and landed in what I thought would be a very sunny San Diego.
Okay.
That wasn't the case. There was an inversion that had happened, right? So it was a complete overcast the entire weekend that we
nice.
were there, which you would think you're going to sunny California, beautiful San Diego, Oceanside.
Maybe you're in the
some
deep
sun.
south.
Yeah,
What's gonna
you
happen?
left sunny Idaho for that.
Yeah.
We had a delightful weekend.
For
very
once,
warm, sunny,
the
nice.
weather was nicer in Idaho than probably California. What a flip.
Yeah.
But we landed there, got a rental car. We went, and this is the funniest thing, because it was Friday. We got a rental car, but we couldn't check into our Airbnb for like several hours.
Yeah.
So
Because you got in so early.
Because we got in so early. So we went, first stop, obviously had to be in and out just because we had to, celebrate with
course.
with a double, animal style, get myself some fries. The whole family loved it. And at that point, we had like 3 hours to kill. So my dad's driving around, we're in the rental car, and he goes, well, what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to stop at the Walmart, or what do you want? I'm like, we're here on vacation in California, driving around in a rental car, and the only thing that we can think of that's good to do to kill some time is go to Walmart. I'm like, this
What a great vacation.
isn't off to the best start, but we
Didn't just go to the beach or something?
well, the problem was we weren't set up to go to the beach, right? We had all this stuff in the car.
Yeah.
None of our stuff was unpacked.
Yeah,
so
they
we
didn't want to leave the car with all their backpacks and
and
suitcases.
that part,
everything.
I definitely get.
Not that, just we literally couldn't access anything. We'd have to untake everything out, just put it all back in. It just wasn't worth it. But we found a park. It was called something Park at like the top of this hill in Oceanside there. Awesome park, right?
Sweeney Todd
went
Park.
there. There was a man selling hats on multiple picnic tables.
A haberdasher?
What's that?
A haberdasher?
I don't know
That's
what
a
it
hatterdashery.
maybe that's what it
Because
was.
a haberdasher specializes in fine men's clothing.
But
okay.
California's
I
different,
don't know the
right?
difference, so I
California's
just
different.
learned
There's always
something.
new and weird
Yeah.
and exciting things you'll see here. But we pulled up to this park, and on several picnic tables, this man was selling counterfeit sports hats and jerseys. And he goes, "Yeah, step right up. 3 hats for $20." And I'm like, that is an insanely good deal, right? And he goes, 5 for $25. I'm like, how are you making any money on these counterfeit hats?
Because they got them for free.
So, but we had fun though. We walked around, hung out at the park. It was a good time, and then eventually we got to check into our Airbnb. The Airbnb that we stayed at, one of the coolest freaking places. Outside, house doesn't look like much; just looks like pretty normal. You walk inside. Pretty nice. Okay, good. Hardwood floors. Okay. It's decorated very, oceany. It's nice.
It's light and airy.
Light and airy. Yeah.
Greenery. Lots of greenery.
There was greenery everywhere, right? A lot of shiplap everywhere. But the backyard, awesome. Backyard was full AstroTurf, right?
Okay.
Flat with a putting green and a soccer ball net and a little toy house. And like a play slide for kids and all this stuff. And then they had an entire bin of all outdoor fun stuff. Ooh. Everything from like bats to wiffle balls, soccer balls, all this stuff. And fire pit, frisbees.
Okay.
I'm like, this is a freaking sweet backyard. It was like the highlight of that whole place. But yeah, so I think that first day we met up with my sister and my brother-in-law, and they took us to the Dutch Bros stand, which for what it's worth is the most successful Dutch Bros stand in the country.
Wow.
It is pretty good record.
Which is a pretty good record.
Because they're all busy.
Yeah.
So
it's like in and out.
They do that location because it is the most southern Dutch Bros that covers that San Diego, Oceanside, Carlsbad area.
The deep south.
Right? It's deep south.
Most deepest south Dutch Bros.
Technically true.
They do 3 times a day what any of our Dutch Bros Idaho stands do.
Wow. Impressive.
3 times. And so here's the one downside. Back in the day, you used to be able to franchise a Dutch Bros stand. You'd pay a large fee, a good chunk of money, right?
It's like
6 digits.
A house
and
payment.
you would buy into this thing, and it's yours, right? And you can, as long as
a lot of them. That's how a lot of them were built in Idaho.
As long as you follow the rules, hey, that's your stand. The profits you make, technically, are your profits. My sister and my brother-in-law, after 15 years of working there, they finally switched it up and said, hey, we're no longer doing the franchise stuff. Everybody's been grandfathered in that did that. But what we're going to do for you is we're going to make you the operator. So technically,
of like what Chick-fil-A does.
You guys have to have the business license. You guys
Yeah.
have to do all this, but we're paying you a set amount for whatever it is. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like you don't have the
It doesn't sound like
They don't have the liability, but they don't have the profit
they don't
sharing.
have the liability, but they don't get all of that maybe extra profit they would have gotten normally. But with that said, though, we pulled up to that Oceanside stand. There was a freaking line wrapped around this like Big Lots, right? And I said, "Holy smokes, you guys are slammed." And they go, "Nope, this is just normal every day." And I'm like, "No way!" Like I'm talking. Like, if you were, I can't even think of a comparable stand here in Boise that would have this long of a line. That could even have the room for this long of a line. And people wait and they love it. And my sister gave me a quick little tour. I went inside there with all the kids working in the stand. First time I ever been inside of a Dutch Bros. And I'm like, "What up, youth? No cap. Bussing on God, right?" And they're like, "He's young. Like, what's going on?" I'm like, "I'm not. That's my baby outside." I'm like going.
You're closer to her age than mine.
I'm the guy that's like going up to like the things on the walls, my hands on my hips, being like, "Wow, look at all these photos."
Tapping on the wood.
Yeah.
What is this, MDF?
This is solid.
Quarter inch, half inch?
okay.
What do you got in here?
You guys really screwed all
solid
this
choice.
stuff in well.
What kind of anchors did you use?
Yeah. And my sister was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Are you going to open up every door?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just want to see what the quality of this is."
How long before you started sniffing things?
No, I didn't start sniffing anything,
Oh,
unfortunately,
really?
for sanitary reasons.
Okay.
But I did notice that there was bumping inside there. Like, inside that Dutch Bros, their music they were playing, like, the walls were shaking. And I said...
What kind of music were they playing?
"What do you think? EDM and
Well, no, because I've been to some where it's like all country. I've been to some where it's like more rock stuff. I've been to some where it's like all top 40s.
This was like kind of EDM. I mean,
Okay.
it was mostly dance music. But I was like,
Okay.
"Man, did you guys like put subs in here or something?" And my brother-in-law goes, "You noticed." He's like, "They didn't know, but we wired in the subs." And I'm like, "Where?" He's like, "They're in the walls."
They're in the walls.
What? So like, I'm like, "Dude, this thing is like bumping. Like I can feel the vibrations." Like he's like, "I know it gets people really jacked up when they're in here."
That
And
plus the caffeine of some of those things. Oh my god.
But yeah, I had just an awesome time. It was a good tour. And then Saturday, I don't even know what the heck we ended up doing on Saturday. Saturday we had don't even remember now. God, the time flies. Hold on, let me go back through my phone. Sorry. Honestly, this is, I don't know if this is an age thing or what it is, but my weekend days are starting to get really mixed and matched. And
Carson, what would be some flavors you would
Yes.
imagine there? I'll pull it up while he's looking for that.
that's what it was. Okay, so we went to Saturday. We went to the Buccaneer Cafe, right?
Okay.
Pretty sweet. Right on the right on the ocean. It was literally a bathroom that they turned into a small burrito shack.
Oh.
So think of like a bathroom, like a park bathroom that's got like the entrances on both sides,
Right.
men and women.
Yep.
This right in the middle, they cut the middle out and then just threw like a little cafe in there.
Is that sanitary?
No idea, but you know what? Place was
You
popping.
figure with the amount of laws and codes they have, that somebody
it's a
would have
space.
complained
It's a
about
structure.
that.
Place was
guess.
popping. Couldn't even believe it. And then who did I see? I saw a famous star there who's been seen in some features and movies. Dane, who is that star that I saw there at the Buccaneer Cafe? Do you remember that guy?
Why are you going to make me say it?
What's his name?
His last name's literally Sins.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know.
Yeah, so I saw Mr. Sins there. That was crazy, right? Guy's been a policeman, a fireman, a doctor.
Just
saved
so
a-
many jobs.
Saved a lot of
A lot
lives.
of jobs.
I saw what literally looks exactly like him, which I think it was him surfing, which is crazy.
So based on that picture you're looking at, you're like, I think I saw it. It's like, I hate that you're right.
Yeah, Dane's like, yep, that looks about
no.
right. So we were there and had a really fun time, and after that we went back to the house and we had a full kind of day at the house in the backyard. Enjoyed it. Had a big bubble party for my daughter. She just
Bubble party.
She
Oh,
loved
that's
it.
fun.
Put a bunch of bubbles out and got a bunch
Was it
of
like
cool
a little
photos.
machine or something? Or?
No, we had like 5 wands and just started going around the
like
backyard.
big
And there was just enough
arcing.
like perfect gravity in that area to where all these bubbles are just sticking around in the
I would imagine
vicinity.
the gravity's mostly the same.
Okay,
wherever you go.
whatever you
The
want to call it.
gravity
The
in that
wind,
section of the
Okay.
country was
the wind,
perfect.
the gravity, the dew point, whatever
Proximity
it may
to
be.
sea level.
pressure.
But
pressure.
the coolest part is that my brother. So this was not only just my sister and my brother-in-law, but my brother, my my baby brother, who's in the Air Force, flew from Omaha, came from Nebraska to also spend the weekend with us as well,
Nice.
right?
So big family weekend.
This is the first time that my family's been together like
For
this
Mother's Day.
in quite some time, especially for my mom, and she was just like over the moon that all of her kids were there. And it was just super cool. So my brother got to tell me all about what's going on with work in the Air Force and the military, you know, how he likes Omaha, Nebraska, right? Doesn't sound like that bad of a place. I mean, the way he describes it, he goes, yeah, it can be a little bit boring, but for the most part, it's not that bad. He said it's very humid there. And on the point of humidity, within that first night of staying there in the Deep South, I realized I'm not a fan of humidity.
Yeah.
I'm not. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's not something I can deal
We've been to
with.
Florida, and you seemed
Didn't you have
okay.
I thought you were. Didn't you say you were drinking some sweet tea on the porch and fanning yourself?
Yes. So the humidity finds its way. It finds places on you and things around you and penetrates with moisture.
Yeah.
And not a huge fan. So that first night I was staying there, right? That Friday night.
You had the heat rash.
No, I got into the bed, right? And
you were sticky.
I said, holy smokes, I don't think that the cleaners like dried these sheets all the way. She said, what are you talking about? I said, they're damp, like they're wet. And she goes, I don't really feel that dampness. And I go, you don't feel this dampness under the sheets? And she goes, no. And I'm like, dude, this is disgusting. Found out my mom has that same weird feeling, right? She goes, hey, these sheets are wet. They weren't wet. It's just the humidity down there. And I don't know how people do it, right?
Why would anybody like that? First of all,
I think you think your body gets used to it.
I think they'll just tolerate it.
I think your body gets used to it, right? But all I can think about is I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how do people do it, right? You got single people out there going on first dates, right? Things are so humid. It's nasty, right?
You learn how to dress for it.
You dress for, I guess you dress for the occasion, right? But I couldn't just be sitting there.
You learn what type of fabrics you can wear.
I'm in an interview, right? Down in the South. And I'm sitting there, I go, sorry,
what you
I'm
don't wear
sweating.
is a performance fabric shirt.
It just
that pulls water from your body. And puts
you
it in
pull
other
this as
places.
I don't know.
Because like a performance fabric paired with another fabric would be damaging. What you need is cotton.
Yeah, you need something that's really going to dry you out.
Under cotton.
No,
just
but you
so
need
hot
cotton
under cotton
to absorb the sweat.
Yeah,
that your body produces
dry you out
in the sweaty areas.
Anyway, back. So I'm sorry, I'm on this humidity rant.
Right.
I just realized
But
that
it's what happens.
not a fan of humidity.
Fair.
It's kind of gross, and but
we got it good here.
But for the most part, I was okay.
20%, David. In case you're wondering,
I
20%.
like
20%'s on the high side, unless
I want
it's
my
raining.
skin to be so dry that it's cracking. That feels good to me.
Okay, maybe not quite.
I
that.
love that.
Realistically, though, like our
because I like
range,
lotioning up. I like
our
getting
range is
lotion.
usually somewhere between 0 or 5% and, like you said, 20%. That's like a
Maybe,
normal range for Idaho. It rarely gets more, I was just say moist. That freaking
Correct,
word.
Larry. Linen
Humid
as
than
well.
that.
No,
Yeah.
Dane, I was moist there. I was a moist person just
did
walking
you forget
around.
your Gold Bond?
So I did. Didn't think about it.
boy.
So no, because you start making a paste there when you start walking around too much. So
Yep, linen.
with that said, I had to get used to the humidity, but we went and had some good dinners. We had a couple really good dinners. We went to went to Carlsbad, right? So we were kind of going around Oceanside. Oceanside, for the most part, is not that big of a town. I thought it was much bigger than what it was. It's not. It's very cute. It's very quaint. I actually think it's very nice, and I did feel safe there. Carlsbad, similar situation. Cute, quaint. Also felt safe there.
Kind of feels like an Oregon coastal town, kind
Well,
of.
it's very like hipstery, right? So I mean, you basically
So like an Oregon
it's like
coastal
you got coffee shop, brewery, coffee shop, yoga studio, brewery, coffee shop, breakfast joint, coffee shop, brewery.
That sounds like a lot of businesses invented by people who don't have jobs.
Yoga studio, and the entire line of that entire town is just those types of places. Weird plant, botanical place, right? Whatever you would want to call it. If you watched Beef, that botanical lady, right? That sold the big botanicals.
Yeah,
that's
all the succulents and stuff.
That's where
very
that
much
would be,
that.
right?
By the way, great show.
Great show, but that's where that would be. So it's kind of a weird setup. But the food there, I'm like, okay, this food's gonna be pretty good. So we went to this Mexican place, had some really good food, and then the following night we had gone to this place called Gonzo.
What?
Ramen place, right? Super JDM ramen place. So you walk into there, right? They got all these JDM goodies, right?
Okay.
Everything from the candies to the mochi to the sodas, right? And then they have comics and they have Naruto posters all over the place.
Oh, boy.
But it's a hipster place, right? So it's cool, like it's fun.
Well, the name like Gonzo, I'm expecting it to be something fun, goofy like that, but with like Hunter S. Thompson's voice recordings playing over the radio.
I don't know. It was
something.
youthful.
Before that, you could even state, before Hunter S. Thompson and the Gonzo Fist, you could talk about Gonzo from the Muppets,
Also an option,
which is far older than, Hunter
Gonzo
S. Thompson
journalism and all that.
So it was just a kind of a cool JDM style place, right? They had JDM beers, they had JDM everything, and awesome ramen.
I'm sorry, was this ramen domestically manufactured in Japan?
Everything there was from Japan.
Pretty much, but
all JDM.
Insane ramen bowls. We had those shortly after. Stomach started not doing super great there. Went for another walk and went around this place that had like it's like a surf shop, right? But it's built out of an old mansion / like something.
So like a converted mansion into a
surf shack.
But if it's a mansion, it's a surf shack. Surf shack implies small. Mansion implies huge.
Giant
surf mansion.
Surf mansion.
Okay.
Surf mansion.
I don't know what it's called. It's in Carlsbad. You'll have to look it up.
Huh.
But
now I'm curious.
Old building. I'm talking like not like Winchester Mansion, like old, but like of that kind of.
Are you talking like turn of the
maybe
century,
1900s?
Well, yeah, like early 1900s, because a lot of the stuff that
1900s.
is there was built in the 1920s and like 1930s.
Sure.
There's a lot of the construction.
Sure,
But
somewhere around there. But we're in there. I'm walking around, and I'm telling my wife, hey, that ramen had a high fat content. I think we got to get going. And she goes, Anthony, I really want you to try on some of these board shorts because you need to pick up a pair. And I said, Katie,
can't put these board shorts on. I might ruin them.
I'm like, this isn't the time.
so this is why I brought up Joey's comment, because he's trying to help you.
Yeah, and message me offline. Okay, but I'm like, okay, I don't think it's the right time. She's like, you need to quit being a baby. She's like, your mom really wants you to get a pair of board shorts here. Just they're on sale. And I go, Katie, I'm not feeling super well right now, and I don't want to try on the board shorts.
You're these white board shorts. They show everything.
I literally had to go up to the lady and I said, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. Do you have a restroom here? And she goes, I'm like in this like 1900s house. And she's like, we do have an employee restroom. I'm like, what do I got to buy to use that? And she's like, you can just use it. We're almost closed. I said, sweet. And so
you're like, you're going to be wishing I bought
anyways,
something.
I can't go back there now.
And that's how we end today's podcast. Because we're at the hour mark.
Yeah, no. Anyway, after that, though, basically had an amazing Mother's Day. We went to the beach. We did all the fun stuff there at the pier. We had more good food, churros, all sorts of fun stuff. We stopped at a little fruit stand that they had there on the beach where they were cutting up mango, watermelon, and covering them in chamoy and tajin.
Ooh.
Life-changing, right? On a hot day, amazing.
Nice.
Did that. Went to a very like high-end kombucha and seltzer bar there.
You sent me pictures of this, and I wanted to be
It's called Mac, I think is what it's called. Anyways, they make these seltzers insane. Like I had like 3 or 4 of them. They were so amazing. But after that, we had a hot dog barbecue back at the house with all of my family. We had a bonfire. It was an amazing time. I'm sure I'm probably missing some other stuff, but my daughter loved it. And then on the flight back, it was basically a 9-hour day of flying to only fly 2 hours back to Boise because there's no such thing as direct flights to Boise.
How long was your layover? And
it was 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours. And but yeah, overall though, trip was amazing. My mom absolutely loved it. She got a lot of great gifts. My brother, my sister, my brother-in-law, my wife, my dad, everybody had just an amazing time. And it was multiple things. It was not only Mother's Day with my grandma there, my mom there, but it was also my dad's birthday. So we celebrated that as well.
And then Katie's Mother's Day.
And Katie's Mother's Day. And yeah, all that stuff. And it was a great time. So what I did realize after all this is that I have a newfound respect for all parents that travel with children. I think I had it pretty easy on this trip, but I will say my back hurts, right? The amount of, what's it called? The attention that you have to have at an airport with a child is a little overbearing because you're like always on being like, what's going on? And you're on edge, right? The entire time. Traveling also keeps you on edge when you have a child. You're always kind of worried of what's going to happen, and it's hard to kind of just completely let loose. And seeing the people with 3, 4 kids all like under 10 or under 15 walking around an airport, I go, it's not worth it. Don't why are you doing this? It's not worth it. Tell them to come to you. Whatever is this important, unless it's a funeral, tell them to come to you. And yeah, so I think everything worked out, but I definitely realized how much work it is to travel with a baby when it comes to the car seat, the stroller,
Well, you're
the
already
bags.
You're already an anxious traveler.
Already, yep.
Yeah,
Bathroom, not bathrooms, but airports and bathrooms.
You
make
prep
me
your body
nervous.
for flight.
Yeah.
You prep your snacks and your entertainment
It's like
systems.
winterizing a
Yeah.
boat.
It is like winterizing a boat to get you on a plane.
Yeah, yep.
So that's what Dane and I were talking about Thursday's podcast was, what is Dadthony
Yeah.
travel like? So, you know.
It's
Because it's different when it's with us,
Yeah.
but how is it when you're on your own? We were curious
like
how you...
it's just a stripped down version of that because
Okay.
I know I can't really concentrate on a full Nintendo Switch or maybe a movie, so it's
They
kind
won't
of
tolerate that
everything's
like
a
we
more
do.
slimmed down package, right? All of my snacks is actually just a bag of gummy bears and something for in her snacks in
Yeah.
my bag.
Did you prep your body previous to the
Thanks,
flight
Um,
so that you could be 100%?
no, so
available?
it was about half capacity
Oh,
of what I'd
okay.
normally prep my
Whoa.
body for.
Yeah,
and,
so
and
really stripped down.
really stripped down
Like
version.
a race car version.
Because you got to be able to go with the flow, and when you got a
Literally.
child, and yeah, I will say it is no. It from my anxiety levels and how I deal with things, it is not my ideal thing, right?
Sure.
So that's why I'm so like, do we have to travel? Do we have to do this at this age? My wife's more okay with it, so she's a rock star. She's an all-star. She's able to really take that on and do better than I do, because I kind of get very like antsy.
vision.
I get
Yeah.
very antsy, and I go like, okay, well, can I put her down at this portion of the airport? She's gonna start walking around. She's like, that's fine, just let her walk around. I go, but what if something happens, right? What if she disappears? What if we lose her? What if this happens? What if I don't know? What if she has to go to the bathroom? We have to change her. So I think of all those type of scenarios probably more often than I should. But yeah, I will say though, yeah, big newfound respect for all the parents that travel with kids. So
Nice.
that was it, man. Great Mother's Day weekend. Would absolutely do it again. Oceanside, nice town. Wouldn't move there, mainly because it's very expensive,
expensive,
and
I'm sure.
humid. But very nice. I'm very happy for my brother-in-law and my sister. And I thought Carlsbad was pretty sweet too. More like Carl's good. Am I right?
Nice.
That's it, Dane. Take us home.
Wow, way to hit it on the mark. We just hit 3:01, so that's officially the closure for this podcast. But you know what? We appreciate you listening, and based on the numbers, it didn't affect us at all doing this in the afternoon versus the morning. In fact, it may have helped it. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out as an unofficial poll to you guys. I'm going to post it up in the community tab. You guys tell me, do you like morning or afternoon podcast better for the actual TRC podcast? Not the Q&A. The Q&A is staying in the afternoon. But that's going to be my little mission for you guys today. So throwing it out to you. Anyway, that's enough. Just let us know in the comments below what you prefer. And yeah, that's really going to be it. So thanks again. Make sure you click like on your way out. If you're not subscribed, please do so. And we will catch you later this week for Q&A Thursday. Until then, take care. Have a good week.
See ya.
See ya.